Hey there, everybody! Andy here from Legendary Tales, and welcome back to Tales of Legend, a tabletop role-playing game for your worlds, your heroes, and your stories. Over the last couple of videos, we've been building a level 1 hunter character today who uses a heavy bow called Andy's First Hero. So if you haven't seen those two videos, you might want to before seeing this one. Today begins a brand new series called How to Play. Today we're going to learn about aspect roles, skills, and how those things impact exploration, role-playing, and combat. Thanks for joining in. Now let's begin. So in the time you spend in Tales of Legend, or any fantasy RPG for that matter, it is mostly split between two different types of gameplay. You have the role-playing side of the game, which is where exploration and social interaction are the stars of the show. And then you have combat and other scenarios, where the game shifts to a turn-based tactical game with weapons and magic. Today we are going to focus more on the first part of playing Tales of Legend. Your Legend Master has built an exciting world for you to interact with. You are going around town meeting NPCs, buying gear from shops, getting quests, and solving mysteries. This is where your aspect roles are most likely to come into play. Let's say that my hero is chasing down a little street kid that stole his purse. Now, my character is really fast, so I can catch up to the kid pretty easily. But the Legend Master says he dives into a house and slams the door. I decide to try to bust the door in and rush after him. My Legend Master calls for a physicality roll to see if I push the door in without hurting myself and keeping my speed. Since the kid didn't lock the door or anything, they set the difficulty as low, let's say a difficulty of 5. Even with a 0 in physicality and no aptitude, I have a pretty good chance of rolling at least a 5, so I bust down the door and continue the pursuit. This one-room house seems empty, so I assume the kid is hiding somewhere in the room. I ask the Legend Master if I can search for the kid. They call for a search roll. The Legend Master doesn't tell me this, but they have placed the difficulty of the kid's conceal at 12. And since I don't have aptitude or points in search, I fail the roll. Despite this, I start walking around the room, calling out to the kid, telling him he can't get away from me. So the Legend Master calls for a social roll to see how I affect the kid with my words. I roll a d20 and it lands on a 10. Now remember, I don't actually know what difficulty the Legend Master is setting, but the Legend Master tells me that since my passive detection is so high at 13, I see the kid dive out of a window on the opposite side of the house at the last second. The window is a small fit, so following after him will be more difficult than dealing with the door. So let's call that a difficulty of 10. But diving through a window? Sounds like grace to me. I not only have aptitude in grace, but I have a grace score of 3. So I get to roll my d20 and my aptitude die of 1d4, and then add 3 on top of that. I shouldn't have any issues diving through this window. After succeeding on that roll, I can easily catch the thief in the wide open to get my purse back. But they surprise me by trying to weave some sort of magical effect at the last second. The final roll the Legend Master asks for before I get my money back is a focus roll. If I succeed, I get my purse back. If I fail, who knows? And that's how aspect rolls are typically used outside of combat scenarios. Now, let's take some time to talk about the aspect scores a bit. Physicality rolls will deal with anything physical, particularly feats of strength or endurance. For example, trying to bust down a door with my shoulder. Grace rolls will deal with anything that has to do with balance, accuracy, reflexes, like jumping through a window. And focus rolls are generally going to deal with magical effects of some kind, which we saw at the end of this scenario. Now when we deal with skill rolls, we divide them up into 7 different types of skills. Let's go over those in order. Conceal. A conceal roll is used when you attempt to hide the presence of an object or creature, including yourself. You, or the object, must be out of line of sight in order to make this roll. A creature might make an opposed detect or search roll if they are actively looking for you, or what you've attempted to conceal. In our example, the thief was actually using conceal against my search. Detect. A detect roll is used when you are attempting to sense certain things that are not easily seen or heard. You actively look, listen, or feel to sense if something is amiss, different, or trying to be concealed from you. We dealt with passive detection in the previous scenario, but asking your Legend Master if you notice any movement in the room would have been a call for a detect roll. Knowledge. A knowledge roll is used to determine if you have come across certain information in your education and life experience and can accurately remember it. You and your Legend Master have to come to a consensus as to what types of knowledge it is reasonable for your particular hero concept to have interacted with. But in general, the higher this skill, the more you will be able to recall about the things you find. Search. A search roll is used when you intend to take time discerning information. This can be in the form of reading a book, searching a room for a secret switch, examining the details of an item for clues, looking for something concealed, or researching information in a library. Search is distinguished from detection by taking time and study, rather than something you notice in the moment. Social. A social roll is used whenever you try to persuade or lie to a creature. Social rolls can also be used if you are trying to impress someone with a performance, or trying to determine if someone has honest intentions when they are speaking to you. I personally never liked the idea of splitting these aspects of social interaction between persuading, lying, and detecting social cues. If you are a practiced diplomat or merchant, you would be good at all aspects of socializing. Wilderness. A wilderness roll is used when you are attempting something while traveling out in the world. This can include navigating by compass, reading a map, trying to gather food, or trying to find the best route to your destination. It also aids when you attempt to track creatures in the wild. Andy's first hero will be particularly good at this skill, and it comes in handy. Fate. Finally, a fate roll is used when pure luck, fate, or destiny demands an answer. When you have no way to control the situation through your aspects or skills, a fate roll is a single d20 roll. On a 1 to 10, you fail. On an 11 to 20, you succeed. Your Legend Master might determine that you have a higher or lower luck, in which case you might succeed on a roll of 15 to 20 or a roll of 6 to 20. I personally love the idea of being able to put skill points in fate. Some people are just a bit luckier or favored than others. There are many different scenarios in both exploration and social interaction where these skills can be used, and between the 7 skills and other 3 aspect points, virtually any type of scenario should be covered. If a hero needs to do something, there is a role for that. What if you are in a combat scenario or other such scenario where you are in turn-based mode, though? One of your action options is the skill action. Let's say that a foe uses a smoke bomb and I can't see them. I might ask the Legend Master if I can use one of my action points to make a detect roll in order to hear the foe so that I can rush up to them. Or maybe I want to use one of my actions to hold a door shut while my friends escape. That would be using the skill action to make a physicality roll. That covers aspect rolls, both with aspect scores and skills, both in and out of combat in Tales of Legend. This was a slightly shorter video, but I have a feeling the next video might be a little longer. For our next How to Play, we are going to go over the basics of combat for low-level heroes. It should be fun to make. I hope you will join me for that next video. If you are enjoying these tutorials, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel, taking a look at our website at legendarytalesrpg.com, and joining our Discord server. I hope to see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day, everybody.